Good morning, folks. Excuse me. Welcome to my stream. Uh, Pocky Service for your entertainment. Um, let's see. Starting now. Come on. There we go. There we go. Hello, everyone. Um, Hope you're all doing well today. It's Sunday, 10 a.m. in Japan. I am your host, Richard Kim, also known as Pocky. Good morning, Hamu. Yes, alpacas are on the way. Just a moment, please. Um, just a couple quick announcements. Not sure how I'll put the poll up. Might have to be just Twitter and Facebook, but gonna be doing some stretch goals. This one for $500, where I will play a game to completion during upcoming stream. Not sure what game yet. There will not be any super long 100-hour games. I'm not a speedrunner. The $1,000 goal is me singing the opening to the recent anime Kimono Friends in my Cookie Monster voice, which I hopefully will not destroy my voice while I am singing it. And then the $1,500 stretch goal is playing an entire route all the way through in perennial favorite Hatoful Boyfriend. So people, I'm sure people will push for that, as that people really like to see me suffer when I'm playing that. Let's see, let me get the Taka Plus window open at least, so it's not a black screen there.
パコプロジェクト
And there's a $2,000 goal then. A $2,000 goal that I'm not sure what I'll set for it yet. It's something interesting though. In any case, people will be able to vote on the $500 goal and such. I might try to do more streams possibly. I'm not sure how since of the timing. Or I might just record some things and then let people watch them, on stream as they want. But that's it for now. I'm greatly appreciative of the money that people have already donated, so thank you. And I am taking freelance work as a translator if people would like things in Japanese, translate into English. We can talk about that if you want. But that's neither here nor there, I guess. In any case, we're going to start with Papa Plus today, and then move on to some other game, possibly Grand Blue Fantasy again. Speaking of which, if people are interested, and again I'll have to ask the greater community as well, with a beginner's guide to Grand Blue Fantasy, like how to make an account and everything else, I can possibly do that as well. I'll probably do that as a separate stream and record it and then just let people watch on their own. But if there's interest, because both of them enjoy watching us do the raids last week, so we'll see. In any case, let's get started with Paka Plus, or sorry, Paka Plus. When we last left our hero, he was coming to grips with the fact that his girlfriend is an alpaca, and that was pretty much it. We'll see where it goes from there. After that, I finally feel like I can take things with a clear head. I'm finally able to think that, even though she looks different, Yukari is still the same inside. I'm finally able to think that, even though she looks different... Oh, wait. Oh, the sound effect. Okay, this game does have some really weird Interface issues. Morning.
おはよ
There's my girlfriend.
う。あ、おは
Cosmos.
よう。二人揃って投稿って久々じゃない。
Shinazawa speaks up after noticing us.
もう喧嘩でもしたのかと思ってちょっと心配してたのよ。
I see. So there really was some distance relative to where Yukari and I usually are. I realize that, once again, when Shinozawa says that.
心配かけてごめんね、綾子。いいのよ、別に。それよりも来週はもう学園祭よ。気合い入れて準備するわよ。
Yeah, but of course.
女子は今週メイドさん講座がみっちりあるから、ゆかりも頑張ってね。メイドさん講座？ええ、接客の方法からご主人様に出すメニューの飾り付け方法、オムライスの文字入れ方法なのよ。
Maid courses. Sure, of course. Makes perfect
大
sense.
丈夫かな？
Morning presents. You've joined us just in time. Hey, jerk. So she's trying to pound in everything that they do in a maid cafe in a week? Those poor girls. I'm confident, though. Although Yukari never appears to have confidence, she has the determination to do things properly when she puts her mind to it. Hello, Ruby. Welcome to the stream. If you want to watch my reactions to the previous installments of Pack Plus, they'll be on they're on YouTube. I believe there is a counter for face palms, so we will see how that goes in. Not that kind of game, Matcha. Oh, there we go. I've not seen that movie yet. I'm afraid to. I'm afraid I'll turn into a blubbering mess. Well, more of a blubbering mess. You'll be fine, Yukari. Just do your best. Her face. It's because she ain't had a couple minutes to get used to her voice again. The bell rings and we head to our seats. Oops, cut off the ring. I think. This is on Twitch. No adult games. No lewds. Observation case log 102 Class 2 Math
ではこの問題解ける人。
Math teacher, the infamous math teacher. I remember a friend of mine got a call. I know this is a complete aside, but and a friend of his wanted confirmation that the tattoo he had just got said something like "I'm really cool" or something, and apparently it said "math teacher" in Chinese. So there you go. The teacher writes a problem on the board and looks for raised hands to answer it. However, not a single hand is up. Yeah, well, it's been on average of 2 to 3 so far. Hamu has more was keeping track of that more than anyone else, I think. So, at this age, it's embarrassing to raise your hand in the middle of class. Furthermore, the problem given is at college entrance exam levels of difficulty. To give such a problem to us freshmen to solve, quite the cruel prank. Which reminds me, where is Shinny? Someone summon Shinny Kenshi. Nothing good will come of our eyes meeting. I look down at my notebook.
誰もいないか。ではこの問題を泉君。
The teacher called out to Yukari.
Hi.
She stands in front of the blackboard, seeming to have that sense of surrender after being caught. Even Yukari, who normally speeds through these questions, is having trouble making progress. Even so, she solves it little by little. I think this problem is more than enough to warrant filing a complaint, but it's commendable that she earnestly tries solving it until the end. After filling up about half the blackboard, Yukari stops. Dang, what the heck? Then a bit of silence follows.
先生、この先がわからないです。
Yukari announces her surrender to the teacher.
ここまでは正解だ。この先解ける人はいないか？
はい。
It's Glasses Boy! Dun dun dun! The student who raises his hand is widely considered the biggest nerd in the class. What? Biggest. Alright, thank you for the host. I've got to change that gif. I'm gonna try to keep fitting Dragon Quest themes, don't figure something else out. But, what? If you knew, then why didn't you raise your hand in the first place? Or is it that he figured out how to solve it because of Yukari? Either way, I feel irritated by this four-eyed nerd. Well, Chris does seem unaware of it now.
前に出て。ああ、泉君は席に戻っていい？
はい。
You will feel compassion for an alpaca. Yukari returns to her seat, looking a bit disheartened. Shocked she couldn't answer the question, and embarrassed she had to say in front of everyone else that she didn't know. It feels like both of those. Reasons Richard's not a voice actor. It's not Yukari's fault. It's not Yukari's fault. Actually, a teacher shouldn't be giving out a problem like this. Complaints about the education system! I'll go comfort her later. Yay, another host from my friend Tronbon. It wasn't a cruel prank per se, Yasha. And how's it going, Quantum? Welcome to the stream. She's probably bothered by it. Perhaps I should say that I understand how she's feeling. No worries, man. Up until now, I couldn't tell what Alpaca Yukari was. Alpaca Yukari. Hello, good morning. Thank you for the host. Up until now, I couldn't tell what Alpaca Yukari was thinking until I spoke with her. Yet today, I understand fully. By stepping back and taking a good look, I can see there isn't any change in Yukari's mood or behavior. Welcome! There's no change, meaning this observation case log of mine is absolutely no point whatsoever. I don't need this log. I throw all of the observation case logs out of my mind. Oh, not literal, then. If you think this is strength, you should see me going through Helpful Boyfriend. If we hit 1500, then you will be able to see me mentally, emotionally grind through a game. I am told, and there is video proof of me losing my mind, actually briefly losing my mind playing Helpful Boyfriend, so... that one I actually do voices, like, because none of it's voiced at all, I read the entire game, and I think the French pigeon nearly killed me. Thank you for the follow, Adrina. You be quiet, Hamu. It's because you were there when it happened. Yes, information for science. The bell rings, and with the teacher gone, the room begins getting rather noisy. Looks like math period ended pretty quickly while I was thinking about all this stuff. Oh, oops. I need to go to Yukari. I just realized that clock has no hands. I get why. I do. Still a little weird. Hey, nice job.
あ、カズマくん。
As expected, Yukari looks downcast. I guess it's impressive that he can tell the emotional state of an alpaca this way. Like, I've never actually seen an alpaca up close, so I don't know how much emotional variety there is on the face of an alpaca, but yeah. And yeah, her voice, especially if you've heard her normal human voice, it's the same VA, it's just very different. Well, ordinary. See, there we go. Well, ordinary people probably can't tell by looking. This is gonna kill me. Yukari tends to hide it when she's feeling down. In fact, she's smiling right now. But I can see that shadow hiding deep in her eyes. Man, what was wrong with that teacher last class? Giving us that college entrance exam question?
まあでも、私の勉強不足だよ。受験の時にはちゃんと解けるようにならないとね。
Okay, I'm not going to rant about Japanese education system. I'm not. This is a game, this is a stream. I did say I was going to answer questions about Japanese culture and stuff, but no one has actually asked them, so I'm not just going to stop and rant. Moving on. I'm just saying, we're not ready to take the test yet, so there's no way we could solve it now.
鎌北くんはできてたよ。
Don't compare yourself to... Alright, my character's a little bit of a jerk. Don't compare yourself to that egghead. He should have just had his arm raised from the get-go.
まあまあ。
I'm being told to calm down by an alpaca. Yukari never speaks badly about others. That's very nice of her. Yet there seems to be a lot she wants to say that she keeps to herself instead. That seems familiar. Very common character type. She doesn't express it often, or rather, she doesn't express it at all. So I'll express it instead. I will rant for you. Up until now, we've always had those different roles. That feeling's coming back to me.
次の授業体育だから私隣のクラスに行って着替えてくるね。
No worries. Hopefully the storm doesn't last too long. Careful, and thank you for joining us. Yeah. Sorry to hold you up.
ありがとね。
Yukari looks back and says thank you right before she leaves the classroom. It's not even June yet. Come on, fireworks? Seeing her smile makes me feel better too. I bet. Large explosions out of nowhere, that poor dog. Fireworks here are actual fireworks. I don't think you don't really see often in city limits. You might see them being handled by people like in the countryside and beaches and such, but I've never actually seen people firing off fireworks in city limits. I've seen sparklers all over the place, and like those little, like you put them on the ground, kind of sparkler-esque kind of things as well. But actual launched fireworks that explode and make loud noises, not so much, because people here like keeping their fingers. Okay, all right. I guess I'll do my best in PE too. This character is totally not me. The boys are once again doing long distance running. I really would like it if they would at least wait until October when it's a lot cooler to start doing this. Understandable. Just getting moving makes me start sweating buckets. Okay, maybe this guy is more like me. I pray for God to bring rain. I pray for God to bring rain when we have to run long distance, but he never answers my call. It looks like the girls are doing the high jump in the middle of the track running around. After they do their warm-ups and a bit of light running, they're now finally about to start doing the high jump. I look around, searching for Yukari. And there she is. It doesn't take me long to pick her out this time, either. After all, she is an alpaca wearing bloomers. That singular statement, that very singular statement is interesting, to say the least. Oh my. Oh my, the hair on her rear end is poking out. How lewd. I have concerns now about this game. Oh, looks like she noticed. She fixes the hem of her bloomers by herself.
よし。じゃあ今日は渡辺から行こうか。
Okay. Okay, there's a difference between the game breaking my brain and being concerned about the adult nature of the game, I guess. This is, again, not an adult game. Twitch does not allow those, and I don't play them on stream because, well, I just don't. So yeah. Let's see here. Looks like they're going up from the bottom of roll call, which makes sense. Wa is actually the end of the Japanese alphabet currently, or the modern Japanese alphabet, I should say. That means Yukari will be near the back. Last week in PE, Yukari wasn't able to complete a single high jump. Alpacas don't know if they're actually known for the jumping abilities or not, so okay. I hope she can get over it this week. I'm finally about to surpass one of those walls in my own life. The first person finishes, then the second. Then it's finally Yukari's turn. I can tell, even from this far away, that she is tense. It sort of feels like I've caught that tension, and I straighten up as well. Yukari starts off. Gallop, gallop, gallop. It looks like she's coordinating her steps to match up to the moment she jumps. 1, 2, 3, and jump! By the looks of it, that's a pretty decent takeoff. So many questions. Seems like she'll make it, right? Yes, she should. Yukari's body lifts up and it goes higher and higher. A beautiful curve that doesn't appear to be weighted down. Weighed down. It's at that moment, when it seems as if she sprouted wings, that Yukari's body passes completely over the high jump bar. It all happened in such a brief moment, but it'll be forever burned in my memory. Memory of an alpaca jumping, running, jumping, inverting, and then landing. This is not alcohol, this is tea. As a note, I can't drink alcohol, so... After flying over, she just lets gravity do the rest. Yukari falls down on the mat. I want to start clapping, but I remember that I'm in class right now. If I was a girl, I would go up to her and applaud. I feel a twitch that makes me want to do that right now. It really doesn't mean much of anything to the other students that Yukai's able to complete the high jump. However, I can see how satisfied she is by looking at her face. That's one of us. I'll congratulate her later. She'll love it.
おいこら佐伯、お前飯泉さんばかり言いすぎっていうかちゃんと走らねえとまたどやされるぞ。
It's fine, it's fine. The teacher is gauging the time, so he doesn't have time to watch us, I tell you.
ほら貴様ら何を無駄口叩いておるか。
Or not.
ほら何が俺らのことなんて見てないだ。お前ら追加でグラウンド5周だ。
Dang, 5 more. That's a lot.
お前のせいだぞ最近。
Sorry, dude. Thus, on the other side of Yukari's successful high jump, I am forced to run the grounds for all eternity. I don't know if 5 more laps counts as all eternity, but it's a lot. Another 5? Please no. How many yards do you think 1 lap on these grounds are? Because I have extra laps, I don't finish running until after the bell. We spent a lunch period peacefully hidden away together. Actually, I woke up early to make her lunch as a sort of apology for up until now. Yukari eats it happily.
やっぱりカズマくんの作るオムライスって最高だね。
I wonder if alpacas can eat eggs. You do love your rice omelets.
好きなものがあるって幸せなことなんだよ。嫌なことがあっても頑張れるんだから。
Was there something? A bad thing? Was there something? A bad thing?
今日じゃないんだけど、体育の高跳びがうまく飛べなくて、ちょっと悔しかったんだ。
That's understandable.
だからオムライス食べて頑張って練習してたんだよ。
Is that so?
おかげで今日の高跳びはちゃんと飛べたんだよ。
So she was able to do the high jump today because she practiced extra hard after all. Yeah, I watched all of it.
見てたの？
She didn't notice. Remember how I had to run until the bell? That was because they got angry that I was watching you.
そうだったの。なんかごめんね、私のせいで。
What are you saying? I watched because I wanted to. I do feel bad about getting my classmate caught up in it too, though. You did well. I rub Yukari's head as I say that. Her expression seems to say it tickles, but she doesn't fight back in the least. She may say random stuff like that, but she still loves being praised. Feeling the warmth from her fur, I'm about to embrace her again, but I hold myself back with the power of rationality. Rationality! Well, it's about time to start the surprise event. Okay. I went ahead and purchased dessert from the school cafeteria. What's more, they were selling a new flavor of jelly. Yeah, well, you know. I mean, they call it a new flavor, but they're probably just doing market research. I peel off the lid and give it to Yukari. Here, it's dessert. It's a reward for you trying so hard, Yukari.
ありがとう。
She brings the jelly to her mouth as she smiles without a shred of suspicion. The moment it enters her mouth, her smile freezes and her expression gradually becomes sour.
カズ
Oh. Yeah, new item in the cafeteria.
いや、そうじゃなくて、これって何味のゼリー？
Yep, it's okra jelly. What the hell? Ew. Like, I like okra, but what the hell? Yep, it's okra jelly. The slogan for this is, you'll beat the summer heat.
オクラ嫌いだって言ってるじゃない。
Poor girl. Yukari gulps down all of her tea with tears in her eyes. I can't even imagine what that would taste like. I don't want to think about it even. That's why, actually. It's not good to be picky, so I'm trying to figure out ways to get you to eat okra.
え、カズマくん、私のオクラ嫌いを直そうとしてくれたの？ごめん、私全然気づいてなかったよ。ありがとう。私も食べられるようになりたいから頑張るね。
I say that because it sounded fair, but I just made that up on the spot. Wow, Cosmo's kind of a jerk. Yet she accepts it wholeheartedly. Of course, it's not a good thing to be picky, so we'll just go with that. I thought her taste would change after she became an alpaca, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Alpacas also have things they like and dislike. I'll bet not all of them like grass. I'm not sure if you count okra as a grass, though. No, it's not. It's not pepper for what falls under, but still, I guess I really will try to look for a way to get her over her distaste for okra. Gumbo. Try gumbo. Man, Yukari's just too trusting. If I'm not careful, she'll be tricked by some bad man. I really hope that doesn't become a plot point. I really hope it doesn't become a plot point. I guess it's fine if I'm just always by her side. Alright, it's about time to head back to class. You got to make it through the afternoon classes, too. Yeah, Cosmo's kind of a bad man. He's not so much of a bad man, he's just a jerk. Like, he's not gonna, like, do horrible things to her. I don't think. Oops. Oh, there is a backlog. Okay, good. Yeah, dang it. With less than 1 week until the school festival, there are piles of things to get done after school, like designing the maid cafe and practicing serving customers. There we go, that's a little better. The girls practice greeting customers, and the boys are building signs and upholstery. I'm fine since I'm in the home club. Oh, Kitakubu, okay. I guess there really is no real easy short term for that. What he means by that is that he's not in any club, he just goes home after school normally. Yeah, this game has got a lot less choices. That's actually not uncommon for a lot of visual novels. Or they'll have the choices kind of like end-loaded or front-loaded. We've had one choice so far in the entire game. Or two, I think, total. So yeah, it's more of a, like, we're reading a story, but I imagine there'll be some choices later on. Otherwise, why bother saving the game this often? I don't know. We'll see. There is a large variety of visual novels. Some of them actually just the text fills the screen. Not as much of a fan of those because I like seeing the art personally. But all right. I'm fine since I'm in the home club, but the guys in the other clubs are having to run between doing the class program and their club program. Yukari's in the orchestra club, and they'll be holding a small concert on the day of the festival. So after practicing greeting guests for an hour, she has to rush straight to the music room. I'd like to help her out if I could, but boys can't wear the maid clothes. Says who? You could. Just probably wouldn't be what people expected. Some people might expect that, actually. Who knows? It's a very exciting new world. I have to be in the back on that day, too.
よし、じゃあ今日の練習はこれくらいにしましょう。みんなお疲れ様。疲れた。笑顔を維持するってこんなに大変なんだね。
You know, they say smiles take less muscles than frowns, but they still take muscles. Seems like the girls are done with their customer reception practice. The fundamentals of a maid are smiles and service. Shinazawa is quite motivated when teaching. Andre, doesn't she have like that uniform thing going on with her? Like she has a... I wonder if we'll ever see that. It's amazing that, even though it's difficult training, not a single girl wants to quit partway through. It's because women are strong. Is this part of Shinazawa's magic too?
明日はオムライスの持ち入れとケーキの飾り付けやるからよろしくね。あ、男子も今日の仕込みはこれくらいでいいわよ。順調に進んでるから問題ないわ。
The boys start cleaning up too, after hearing Shinazawa speak. They put the fabrics and other stuff for the interior away in storage, and then they are ready to go. I should invite Yukari along to go home. Her club should be over by now. I pick up my bag and head for the music room. The soundproofing of the music room allows me to hear only a faint trace of the violin being played. Oh, she's playing a different song than the usual. One I've never heard. I open the door ever so gently, thinking they might still be performing. If they aren't done, then I think I'll head back alone, so as not to bother them. Peeking through the crack, I can see Yukari. Yes, right, she's holding the violin incorrectly because the chin thing is on the other side. Welcome. I search around carefully for others, but there is no one else. It seems the club is over. Finding peace of mind, I open the door all the way. Yukari looks over at the entrance when she notices the sound. Good work in your club. I was thinking we could go home. We could go back home together. She has a troubled expression for a moment. Could it be she has something that she needs to do after this? No, that's not it. This expression probably means... Indeed. Do you still want to practice?
学園祭で演奏する曲、新しい曲なんだけど、まだ手になじまなくて。あと1週間しかないから、もうちょっと練習したいかな。
Hey, Ember. Well, our hero is special this way. I brought that up earlier, and yeah. Then again, we can see the actual blush on the llama, the alpaca. So it's not a llama; it's an alpaca. Maybe that's why, because alpacas are more expressive than llamas. I have no idea. Also, this alpaca was able to run, jump, invert, and do a high jump. So it is as Hamu says. Hey, do you mind if I stay and listen?
Alright?
If you're playing at the festival, there's going to be guests watching. So wouldn't it be better if you got used to that tension? Well, unfortunately, the game is all about this alpaca and her relationship with our narrator / hero. So hopefully it doesn't get to you too much, Rage. Also, I simply want to listen to Yukari play the violin. I know if I straight up tell her this, she'll be too embarrassed to let me listen to her play, so I stay quiet.
And yeah, ちょっとだけ
Yukari bashfully readies the Yukari bashfully readies the violin. In that moment, her expression changes. They did indeed. She has a focused expression on her face. She breathes for a moment, then begins playing. How can you tell? I probably just witnessed the moment when she goes from normal Yukari to serious Yukari. Henshin! No. She says she's not used to it, but from what I'm hearing, it sounds like she's able to play it elegantly. However, she isn't satisfied with her own playing yet. The evening sun spills in and bathes Yukari's body in light. That spectacle is absolutely beautiful to me. No, this isn't a sensation that can be summed up with just the word beautiful. To me, it's like Yukari is shining. This is certainly an alpaca in front of me. Well, yes it is. However, it's Yukari. Closing my eyes as I listen to her play, I recall what it was like up until last month. Thank you for the follow, Rage Spy. Appreciate it. See, there we go. Human Yukari. I guess as an alpaca, she can't get it far enough under her neck, I guess. I don't play violin, so I'm not 100% sure on how those work. I'm guessing, I would hope the artist would have looked at references. I played saxophone in high school, so... or in middle school, rather. No, certainly there is none. That refreshing melody is the same as Yukari's from back then. This heartwarming sound, this is Yukari's music. The reason I talked to Yukari in the first place was because I was drawn in by this music. I really do love Yukari. Well, that's sweet. I love this girl before me. I don't know why, I just like saxophone. I didn't want to play the flute, or the piano, or the violin like every other Asian kid that apparently was forced to as I learned growing up. And thankfully my parents were actually willing to rent it for us, so. Oh, trombone, I heard that's pretty tough. I was never able to do brass instruments, unfortunately. A little bit beyond my ability. Alright. The day before the festival. Saturday is normally a day off from school, but we go early to prepare for the festival the next day. Now we can see the fruits of our many days of labor finally taking form. Ah, both woodwinds. Okay, that makes sense. I actually know a lot of people who played either clarinet or bassoon and saxophone, actually, so it kind of makes sense. From the crack of dawn, we're busy in preparation for opening Maid Cafe Manan, the name of our mock store. Manan? The entire class is frantic, engrossed in their work. The boys are changing the curtains, arranging the desks, and creating a simple prep room in the back of the classroom. It's not Asian kids are supposed to play, it's just kind of like, if you talk to a lot of Asian American kids, Asian Americans of my generation, and honestly the younger ones as well, stereotypically you end up seeing a lot of Asian kids, on top of all their studies and everything else, being, I don't know if I should say forced, but strongly urged by their families to learn to play either the violin, the piano, or the flute. Those are the three. As for why, I don't know, honestly. I think it's just kind of like that image of rich, successful people play these things based on movies and TV, which is where a lot of what Asians of older generations get their information about Western culture, is movies and TV. So, yeah, tennis is another one. Golf. Um, but when you watch movies and TV set in current modern day, rich people have pianos in their houses, or whatever. So it's like, I guess that's maybe why. There's commercials here for people to buy and sell pianos, and I'm like, okay, it's a thing. It's a thing. It's culture, I guess, too. Some people do it because they like to play the piano. That's fine. I decided I want to learn saxophone because I wanted to learn to play a musical instrument. I don't know how to play it anymore. It's been too long, but it was fun, and I enjoyed it. And if I had my saxophone here, I might try practicing, although the walls are thin as paper, so I'm sure my neighbors would hate it. But oh well. Alright.
おーい、仕切り用の布、これサイズ足りてないぞ。
Oops.
ちゃんとサイズ測ってあるはずよ。ってこれ、カーテン用の布じゃない。
ありり、あー、悪い。
Darn it, boy student A!
あー、佐伯、ちょっとこっち来て。
What is it? I rush over when Shinozawa beckons.
簡易キッチン周り、あなたに一任してもいい？明日キッチンの責任者はあなただから、自分が使いやすいようにセッティングしちゃっていいわよ。
Oh Lord. I wonder if there are kana emotes. Roger. Hey guys, I need some help. I call for some guys to start working on the kitchen.
じゃあ、私は衣装の方見てくるわ。
Uh-huh. The girls are assembling their outfits in another room, and Shinozawa leads to check on that. Alright, let's get to work. Alright, let's get to work. It's a classroom kitchen, so there are only a few things we're allowed to take in there. What we've prepared for this is a mini fridge, microwave, kettle, kitchen knife, and cutting board, amongst other things. We would have said about a water dispenser as well, but the idea got cut. It isn't so much a budget issue as nobody knows what we do with the thing after the festival. Yeah, that makes sense. Pianos aren't cheap either, so it's like if you have a piano, you must be well off. Hey Shag, what's up, man? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the destruction of Richard's sanity. It would have made things so much easier since it dispenses both hot and cold water, but since it isn't good for the school, we can't do anything about it. I plug in each of the appliances and check to see there are no problems. But while doing that, I noticed something else. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. There aren't enough outlets for these. Okay, I'm not. Well, I guess crushing of what remains of my sanity. Then, I mean, it's the kettle, microwave, and refrigerator all use electricity. It's fine when we aren't busy, but switching out the plugs when we're full is going to be a problem. Hey, don't we have a splitter?
あるはずだけど、確か全部使い切ってるはず。
I wonder if they mean an actual power strip, or if they mean one of those little plugs that actually just has a bunch of extra outlets on it. I don't know if I want 40K to be my my guide for my life, as much as I enjoyed the game. Can you go and see if you can borrow one from the student council?
クラスで借りてきたケーブル自体が生徒会からの借り物だったはずだから、今から追加申請って難しいんじゃないか?
Well, that can be a problem. We're in a bind. Our only choice is to go buy one. Thankfully, they're not that expensive. Looking at my classmate next to me, I remember something. It might work. Hey, isn't your house pretty close to here?
ああ、近いけど。
Do you think we can get an extension cable from your house? Yeah, I have concerns about Japanese electrical outlets in their walls, but that's neither here nor there right now. We can talk about that later.
余ってるとは思うけど、学校抜け出すのまずくない？明日持ってくるじゃダメかな。
It's true that you can just bring it tomorrow, but I really want to leave tomorrow open for bringing in the raw materials. If something goes wrong, we might not even be able to open up shop. Sorry, I really want to fix this by today. I'll go check with Shinozawa. After saying that, I head towards the classroom they're using to put their outfits together. We're gonna see a alpaca and a maid outfit, aren't we? Once again, I don't think he's here to hear this, but Shinikashi! Alright. Quiet, you. A girl's shrill cry can be heard from within the classroom. That was indeed shrill. Oh no. To Du Bois. Du Bois. Okay. They seem to really be into it. Oh, this. Wouldn't it be really bad if I opened the door? Then knock. The girl's in the middle of changing right now, so I'd be treated like a criminal if I were to go in. Yes, you would. Knock. Knocking is a thing. While I ponder what to do... And there's our alpaca. Yukari exits the classroom. Oh, she's not wearing her maid outfit. Well, I'll look forward to that for tomorrow. I want to see the human Yukari in her maid outfit, but an alpaca is fine too. I have some concerns about our hero's sanity. Oops. Can't forget while I'm here. Could you call Shinazawa for me? There's something I need to ask her. This isn't the only time I've questioned his sanity. This is hardly the only time I've questioned his sanity. Yukari goes back into the room. Not long after, she brings up Shinazawa. Yeah, so we're out of extension cables, you see. I was thinking of having a guy who lives close by go and get one. A cat is funny too. Oh, good. Our heroine's best friend is smart and forward thinking. I am beyond impressed and into awe.
ゆかり、教団のところに赤いボックス置いてあるのわかる？
わかるよ。
その中に延長ケーブルとか入ってるから案内してあげて。
Much appreciated.
それ以外にもいろいろ入ってるから好きに使っていいわよ。
Yeah, we'll do.
じゃあ私は衣装合わせに戻るから。
I don't know. she she quickly heads back into the classroom after saying that.
それじゃあ行こうか、カズマくん。
We return to the classroom and acquire the extension cable. Then Yukari's phone rings. That's some song.
もしもし、あ、パパ。わかった。校庭まで行くね。
Yeah, I somehow doubt she's actually turned into an alpaca. But who knows? Your father?
着いたから校庭まで来てくれって。
Alright. Athletic club, we need your help carrying stuff.
よっしゃー任せろ
The athletics club members, who usually have nothing to do all summer but laze around, are contributing by carrying in the furniture.
あ、そのバスタブは教室の端に持って行って。で、その熊のぬいぐるみをバスタブに入れてもらっていいかな。
Yukari hands out orders if things are brought in. I could totally see that. I had no idea how we were going to pull this off when a truck that looks like that of a moving company pulled up, but once we divided up the load, it wasn't that much of an effort. Looks like we'll be just fine. Looks like we'll be fine just leaving it up to Yukari. I might as well go back to setting up the kitchen. Scene transition.
こんなもんかな。
Think is the line. Nope. Yeah, it's a little weird. Alright. A gorgeous tapestry decorates the wall. It looks much more like a maid cafe when we swap out the plain cream-colored curtains for white lacy ones. These incredibly luxurious decorations are a bit distracting, but at this point it doesn't matter. By the time the girls who are good at cooking finish the preparations for tomorrow's menu items, it is already starting to get dark outside. We're exhausted after having spent all day on pretty much nothing for preparing, but we're still in high spirits. We're gonna make this work tomorrow!
当たり前でしょ。私の計画は完璧よ。
みんなで頑張ろう。
Everyone speaks individually of how they feel about tomorrow. Everyone speaks individually of how they feel of tomorrow. Preparations for the school festival are done. Now there's just tomorrow. No matter how you slice it, tomorrow is everything. We're gonna make this work. Seeing everyone off from the classroom, we turn off the lights and make our way home. I'm looking forward to the school festival tomorrow. I'm gonna pause for a second.
であるからして、学生の本分は勉学に勤しむことでありますが、本学園の設立理念からも。
As a note for folks who've just joined the stream and are new, hello. My name's Richard Kim, known as Pocky, or Original Pocky, these days. And the reason I started the stream up again, because I was normally only doing this for Extra Life for charity, is that I'm trying to raise some money, as you can see on the little bar right here. I'm trying to raise some money to bring my family to Japan for a visit this summer, as I've not seen them in a year. And while my job is reasonable, I'm not being paid exorbitant amounts of money. It's not cheap to fly from the States. So that's why I'm doing it. I'm not asking you necessarily to donate. If you can, great, but no pressure. Hope you're just enjoying the stream and my random asides about Japanese culture and things. But I just like people to know why I'm doing this. Even after my family comes here this summer, assuming I raise enough money, I'll still keep the stream going, actually, because I enjoy doing it. Who knows, if I keep earning money that way, I'll save up for like maybe a Christmas trip home or something. Because yeah, it's been almost a year since I came out here. I came here in August last year, and so it's almost June. So 10 months now. So yeah. As always, if you have questions during the stream, feel free to ask. I don't mind, pausing to answer questions about either me, Japan, games, the game I'm playing, whatever. I miss you too, man. I really wish I could travel back and forth more often. That would be awesome. Let's see. It was good. Questions about pigeons can be answered once we hit $1,500. So yeah. All right, let's get back to the game.
生徒諸君の自主管理、運営によって学園祭を成功に導くことが諸君らに自立を促し、近い将来社会に
Hold on a second. I feel like there was like a blah blah in there somewhere. Looks like the backload's having a bit of an issue too. And thank you for the donation, whoever just donated. His long speech finally ends, and the students are released from the gym auditorium. It's 8:30 a.m. right now. The reason that Hatoful away from that $1,500 is because that game takes an actual load off on my brain. Like, it's kind of hard for me to get through, but I also realize how much people enjoy watching me play it. There's a reason why I call it the stream, Pocky suffers for your entertainment. I know what your people are doing. I get it. And that's fine. It's my choice for putting myself out there for that, so. Our cafe opens at 10 a.m. We need to perform a final preparation check before that.
女子は更衣室行って着替えてきて。男子はメニューの最終チェック。足りない飲み物があったら買ってきて。
On Shinazawa's signal, everyone checks on their assigned tasks, and the girls go to change. Her leadership skills are amazing. I check to see how the coffee maker is doing, and check on the drinks in the cooler. As long as the boss and his daughter bring in the cakes, I'll have fulfilled my responsibilities. I don't know if you folks are telling me. Oh, actually, I see what you mean now. I thought you meant like they're commanding me. No, but yeah. Is anyone actually ever? I don't know if how often people have actually watched the stream that weren't people I already know and were just, taking pity on me, but / enjoying watching me suffer. Someone taps me on the back. Oh my god. I need a moment. Talk amongst yourselves. Topic. Sailor Moon is neither a sailor nor a moon. There, now you can get an even better shot of the alpaca. I yeah, yeah. All right. Turning around, I see you cutting her main outfit.
どうかな
I'm a little afraid what the reaction's gonna be. Yukari blushes as she inquires. How to express this? It's certainly cute, but it's as if it is from an art exhibit. Like it was donated to us from some art museum. Seemingly responding to my silence, Yukari's expression starts to turn worried and gloomy. Cute, it really suits you. I follow up frantically. She still seems displeased and puffs out a bit.
じゃあ今のまま何なのよ
Well, I was taken with you.
そんな表情には見えなかったけどな
My cell phone rings, saved by the bell, literally. Looking at the screen, I can see it's from my boss. Yes? Hello?
ああ、カズマくんかい？今、校門のところまで来たから、何人か連れてきてもらえないかな。
Her voice is definitely different. Got it. I'll be there soon. So it seems my boss brought the cakes. I need to go.
わかったわよ三鷹さん待たせちゃ悪いしね
Good morning, Ryo. Boss. I give the boss and his daughter, Ryo, a greeting.
おはよう。
おはようカズマッチ久しぶり
Ah, we don't get art of her, apparently.
それじゃあ、これがケーキ12箱だ。
一応8カットずつに切ってあるんだけど大丈夫だった
Yes, that helps a lot. I thought I'd have to do it myself, so it saves me the trouble.
私たちも後から顔を出そうと思ってるよ。喫茶店系頑張るんだよ。
That clock behind him doesn't have hands either. Alright.
じゃあ私
Okay.
これで
Oops. They return to their car and head back to the Black Cat Cafe after saying that. 12 whole cakes. They probably woke up early just to make them. We have to do this right. Alright then, let's divide the load and carry them to the classroom.
Oh,
Treat the cakes with care. I have no idea what Shinazawa would say if they were fudged. We really want to hurry, but we walk slowly as to not drop the cakes. Good idea.
このケーキって俺らも食べれるのか
No. They did say if there's any left, we could split it up and give it to the staff, actually.
マジか放課後が楽しみだぜ
Pro tip, you're hoping to actually sell all the cakes. So a lot of schools, they have it set so that the class, maid cafe or whatever they do, the money they make from it, they actually get to use for their own budget for other things. Not always, mind you, but sometimes. So, alright. That's if there's any left. Transition. The time is 9:50 a.m. Beep. We finished the last dress check, and now we're just waiting to open the store.
それじゃあ今日一日頑張りましょ
What?
うもう
I have
今
this
から
not.
盛大に打ち上げするわよ
Wait, why is Ayaka not wearing a maid outfit? I thought all the girls were helping. Huh. Ooh. Everyone feels the same thing. It's been 1 whole month. We've invested all that time in preparation for the school festival. That's how we're gonna make this work. Ah, those mysterious school uniform maid outfits. I see. Clubbing comes from everywhere. Seikoi Private High is definitely a college prep style school, but for today, the student body is filled with this festival spirit. Finally, our first customer, master, has returned home to our maid cafe, Manan. I'm sure there's some kind of pun or something in that name, but I have to see the Japanese to be able to tell what it is. The maids are also adding bright, shining smiles to the end of their sentences. Yeah, I got this. You're not wearing a maid outfit? Sekai Project High School. Yeah, I was thinking that too, actually. Sure, Cosmo didn't care, but I kind of wanted to see it. And I'm gonna shut up now. Is that so? The Winter Festival? There's a festival in the winter? I'll go if I have a chance. If I have the chance. I wonder if she means Winter Comic Market. Our memorable first order comes as Shinazawa and I talk. You know, she could organize this whole thing in a maid outfit. It's, just a thing. I'm gonna shut up now. I steal glances at the shop as I prep the first order. Let's see. The shirts say Prince on the dude in the pinkish shirt, and the other dude's shirt says Islander. Why not? It's only been 30 minutes since we've opened, and the seats are full. There's a line outside. It isn't just students. There are businessmen lined up outside the entrance too, as well as guys I could really only describe as giant man-children. Damn, alright. Well, I'm kind of curious what the Japanese for that is now. Even if this is a festival where there are a lot of non-student visitors, what is the meaning of this? Could it be? Hey, are you sure we should have spent this much on raw materials? I remember seeing the budget online for this maid cafe. That's what I was thinking too, Hamu. Alright, so our heroine Ayaka is an otaku then. Or at least she knows where to find them. This is most likely the effect of her advertising. I can see the grin on Shinazawa's face as she chuckles to herself behind the cashier desk. This has gone beyond impressive and into dumbfounding. Oh, you know, it might be Bird Person, actually. I wasn't looking super closely at it. Oh, yeah, you're right. That's Twitty. And he's wearing a duck hat, so yeah, okay. That's not a major plot point. It's just, I thought it was, interesting that they're wearing those shirts. She probably made a website and wrote about it on some maid cafe and school event forums.
コーヒーアート2つ入ります
School event forum. I suppose there probably are school event forums, so people who really like school events can like travel to them. I hope not. Really hope not, Crescent. All right. So an order comes in as I think about that. Looks like I won't have any time to think to myself today. If I have time to think, I have time to act. Pouring the milk into the coffee, I then draw. One is a heart, and the other is a rabbit. That should be good enough. I finish the heart, no problem, but I go too fast on the rabbit, and the eyes end up a bit smooshed. I'm thinking of tossing it and starting on a new one when...
なあもうご主人様待ってるんだからそれでいいです
Seeing that, she takes the cup of messed up rabbit to the front. I'm about to dive out there, but only the girls are allowed to interact with the customers. She knows I would probably get angry if a boy were to go out there. I give up on running her down and start working on the next order. I'm still a bit worried, so I peek out.
すみませんご主人様ご主人様のことを思ったら手が震えちゃって踊り返した方がいいですよね
Dang. Girl student B's got it going. Knows how to follow up.
いやいやいやいいよいいよ、僕のことが気になったお越しなんだろう逆にレアなんですけど
さすがご主人様心が広いです
And people ask me why I don't go to big cafes. Girls are amazing. Or should I say, frightening. While I think that, my eyes meet with that girl's. Her expression seems to say, see? I look around for Yukari, wondering if she started acting like that. But it turns out she's working the cash register.
いってらっしゃいませご主人様
ああ、すぐに帰ってくるよゆかり。最後に握手してもいいかな。
No, you're not actually allowed to do that. Yo, hey, who said you'd be fresh with my girl? My rage begins boiling up. Don't bother holding this guy's hand. Do alpacas sweat? Yukari is troubled. Girl student M. Wait. M? We went 1, 2 to M. One of my classmates delivers a flying kick to that master as I ponder if I should step in. M for, I guess, Mimoto, maybe? That certainly looked painful. Or, the Prince of Perverts, huh?
これくらいセクハラじゃねえだろ。握手がセクハラだったらもう48人アイドルとかどうなる。
There's a reference to Akiba 48. There's actually more than 48, but whatever. M is martial arts, maybe, yeah.
あれはオフィシャルだからいいのうちの店ではそんなサービスはしておりません
まあまあ姫も王子もここは落ち着かきゃなせよ
Time for relaxies.
確かに店内でやることじゃないわよね
ほら王子も次の模擬店行くじゃなせよ
Let us walk season. Okay.
確かに時間がもったいないな。
I see. So, Master 2 is the dude over there with the crown, and I guess his buddy is Master 3.
それじゃあおいとまするきやな 最後まで頑張る気がすよ。
はいはい。変態王子の相手よろしくね。
It becomes pretty quiet after the noisy pair leaves the store.
ごめんねゆかりん。うちの兄が失礼をいたしました。
Has wronged you. That's true. I suppose that's true. The student bows her head to Yukari.
びっくりしたけど大丈夫だよ。
She's made of sterner stuff than that.
そこの二人、手が空いてるなら手伝って。はーい。すみません。
The commotion was finally over, but master after master makes his arrival home. I peek out, but the line isn't shrinking. Rather, it's getting longer and longer. I can't even see the end of the line from here. I made a signboard that says end of line here on it, but I can't even see that. Looks like he's going straight down the stairs.
おいカズマ、何ボサッと伝ってんだよ。お前も手伝え。
Oops. This isn't the time to get caught up in worrying about the line or Yukari. There are things here I have to do.
なあ、オムライスってもう在庫なしか？
A student peeking at the fridge asks me. I believe all we had were in the fridge. There aren't any in the cooler, are there?
ああ、入ってない。こっちはソフトドリンクだけだ。
The boy answers after checking the cooler. Oh man, it's still only 11:30 a.m. Running out of supplies, it's not even noon yet. Doesn't this seem a bit bad? Oh damn, I need to grab all the menus and put sold out stickers on them.
オーダーあります。オムライスセット、ドリンクは神社で。
Speak of the devil. Actually, we just ran out of the rice omelets. Can I ask you to pick up all the menus while you're going to apologize?
そうなの？そういうことはもっと早くやっときなさいよね。
We just figured it out! Cut us some slack, girl student A! In spite of the annoyed tone of her response, she still goes to the master. Really, that's a big help. Also, I'm sorry. Without fastings or moving, though, will the food we have left be enough? Well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. The time is 1:30 p.m. After the rice omelets, all of those sandwiches sell out. It looks like the staples sell out at lunch. Makes sense. Also, it's long past time to change shifts, but the store hasn't settled down. What is going on? We even planned for extra staffing during lunchtime to help increase the turnover rate. Now that we're past the rush, a few people can finally take a break, but as a committee member, I can't leave with them. There won't be anyone coming to relieve me for another half hour. Our class is split into 3 shifts for this, by the way. In general, 5 maids, 3 kitchen staff, and one each of liaison and time flipper.
オーダー入ります。ケーキセット2つ、ショートケーキとガトーショコラ、ドリンクは2つともアイスティーで。
Roger. Oh, Yukari. I hail Yukari as she goes back to greet customers.
何？
Aren't you tired? You should take a break too.
私はまだ大丈夫だよ。今さっき女の子2人休憩出しちゃったし、もう少し頑張るよ。
I see. Don't push yourself.
カズマくんもね。後で学祭一緒に回ろうね。
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah! That's right. I forgot since I'm glued to the maid cafe, but the other classes are doing different kinds of stands as well. Stuff like haunted houses, mazes, crepe or takoyaki stands, and the like. A lineup where one could easily play and eat to their heart's content. I'll go see with them Yukari later. I feel like I can put up with a bit more thinking about that.
ゆかりちゃん、注文はまだかな。
I hear someone calling Yukari's name from far off.
はい、ただいま。じゃ、後でね。
Yukari speaks up, then goes to the master's side. It said the outfit makes the maid, but the popularity of our cafe is just incredible. Yukari seems exceptionally popular, even amongst them.
ゆかりちゃん、こっちにも来てもらえないかな。
はい、すぐ伺います、ご主人様。
ねえねえ、ゆかりちゃん、一緒に写真撮ってよ。
This dude sounds kind of creepy.
それは。
当店では写真撮影を一切禁止させていただいております。みんなでこの空間を作っていくためにご協力願えればと思います。
Ayaka to the rescue. Quite a few of these masters are trying to cop a feel on the maids. Hey now, these are high school girls. That ain't right. In these cases, Shinizawa acts as the manager and throws out a lightsaber, so I feel pretty relieved. That was actually a very professional sounding actual warning. She used Kegel and everything. Though she should wear a maid outfit if she's going to be out on the floor. Is this some kind of intentional thing? Maybe it is. The time is 3 p.m. Yukari and I haven't gone on break yet. I'm used to working, so I'm fine. This might be too much of a burden for the girls. I do want to give Yukari a break soon, but...
すみません。ケーキなんだけど、さっきので裏にあるのは全部だったんですよね。
12 cakes, 8 slices each. So 96 pieces, that's 96 servings totally had. That would go pretty quickly, yeah.
まあ、そのはずだけど。
じゃあ、ショーウィンドウにある展示品から出していいかな。
まあ、展示品はワンカットのみにして、残りのホールはこっち持ってきてもらってもいい？
わかりました。
Yukari trots over to take the cake out from the show window. Just as she brings it over to the kitchen, she stumbles over a chair and falls. In that moment, the cake crashes on the floor in a mess. There's that gag with the 3-second rule, but in this case, it's not even funny. The masters nearby notice as well.
すみませんでした。今すぐ片付けますので。
Yukari is panicking. Shinizawa shows up and begins cleaning the floor, but it has already left a bad impression.
ごめんね、あやか。
口動かしてる暇があったら手を動かす。
Dang, that's kind of harsh.
はい。
ご主人様、お召し物など汚れてしまってはおりませんか
Shinizawa asks a nearby master.
ああ、大丈夫でげすよ。それよりも、彼女大丈夫でげすかい？だいぶ疲れてそうだけど。
I don't think I've ever actually met someone like that, who talks like that. Thankfully.
お気遣いありがとうございます。ほら、ゆかりも謝って。
はい。すみませんでした。
Yukari stops wiping the floor down and goes to bow to the master. Yukari is probably at her limits now. She's been working all day, and yeah, she should take a break. Now we have one more problem. We're now down to 2 whole cakes. The booths are closing in about an hour, but with how things are right now, 16 slices will be gone in an instant. It's certainly painful to have lost the whole cake. Oh, it was not just a slice, it was actually the whole cake. Okay. We can't even make anything right now because others are using the school kitchen. Nope, it's too early to give up without at least seeing something can be done. I should try going over. Shinozawa! I call out to her from behind the kitchen's drop curtain.
何？
Only 16 pieces of cake left.
オーダー入ります。ケーキセット2つ、ガトーショコラ2つです。ドリンクはアイスカフェオレ、ウーロン茶で。
あや
14 pieces left. Will it be enough?
正直完売するわよね、このペースじゃ。
Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing. So I was thinking of going to the school kitchen to see if they can make something for us.
そうね、ダメ元で行ってみる価値はあるかも。
Alright, then I'll be off.
頼んだわ。バックヤードは私がヘルプで入るから。
Roger. I run from the classroom with my apron still on. My class is on the second floor. The school kitchen is on the corner on the first floor.
はい、なんでしょう。
Dish number? Actually, we have a maid cafe going on right now, but a few of the menu items ran out, so we're wondering if we can make a few things here. I plead desperately, bowing my head so much that I might as well be groveling. I'll beg if that's what it takes.
使わせてあげたいんだけど、ほら。
She shows me how things are going inside after saying that. There are the cooking club members in the middle of teaching children how to make cakes. I search around to see if there are any available open spaces, but they're all filled up.
というわけで、今イベントやってるからしばらく開かないのよ。
That would make it difficult.
ごめんなさいね。
No, sorry for bothering you when you're so busy. After giving another slight bow, I return to our classroom.
どうだった？
Making X with my arms, breathing rapidly.
やっぱダメか。どうしようかしらね。
I think about what we could do, trying to catch my breath. I hear something fall over from inside the shop. Oh, great. Collapsed alpaca, that's not good. Yukari? What's wrong with Yukari? I look out to the floor in a panic. When I do, I see Yukari collapsed in the middle. Boys aren't supposed to be out in the open, but in a situation like this, even I can't be bothered with the rules. I quickly dash over to Yukari. Yukari? Yukari! Yukari? Yukari? I called her, but she gives no response.
ゆかりを保健室へ。
I know. I head towards the nurse's office, holding Yukari, still wearing her maid outfit, in my arms. And again, this kind of lends towards the current theory of Yukari is not actually an alpaca, she just looks like one for some reason. Because alpacas are several hundred pounds at least, if not more, and a fair bit larger than the average human being. So... there? Alright, stretching a little bit. I need to figure out a better sitting situation for my for this. I don't have a lot of back support. I got these cushions from the couch here. That's really about it. On my way there, students and parents look at me with perplexed gazes, but that doesn't matter to me at all.
多分軽い貧血だと思うけど。
Is that so?
おそらく学園祭の準備と当日で疲れが溜まっていたんでしょうね。しばらく寝てればそのうち目を覚ますと思うわ。
I'm so glad she isn't actually sick. After leaving Yukari to rest in the nurse's office, I return to the classroom, but it seems that Shinazawa is being sensible and says we both can just take off. At the same time, Shinazawa is trying to get one of the more feminine boys to wear a maid outfit. Is this her idea of a replacement, I wonder? Regardless of the reason, I'm glad I get a break now. I'll stay by Yukari's side until she wakes up.
それじゃ先生は校内巡回の時間だから外に出るけど、もし何かあったら電話からコールして、すぐに戻ってくるから。
Very nice, school nurse lady. Understood. Damn. Looks like we won't be able to look around the school festival at all. Big dummy. I talk to Yukari as she sleeps. By the way, wild alpacas sleep in a strange sitting position with their heads lowered. But right now, Yukari is sleeping with her body beautifully, question mark, stretched flat. Beautifully? She appears so human. That really messes me up. Just pick whether you're an alpaca or a human. Well, either Yukari is cute. The nurse's office door burst open. I thought the nurse had come back, but it's a girl wearing a school uniform. I feel like I remember her being in the same orchestra club as Yukari.
ゆかりちゃん、ここですか?
Yukari's still sleeping here. What's wrong?
管弦楽部の発表が5時からなんですけど、ゆかりちゃんがまだ来てなくて、クラスに行ったら保健室にいるって。
The clock says 4:30 p.m. 30 minutes until the performance. Now that she mentioned it, I remember Yukari saying the orchestra club is having a concert during the school festival. Would she be able to go in this condition? Well, let's try waking her up.
はい、お願いします。
I stand next to Yukari and call out to her. Yukari? Yukari? Your concert in 30 minutes. She shows no reaction at all. I shake her a bit. Yukari, come on! Do you really not care if you don't wake up? ... She really isn't responding.
大丈夫です。そんな無理して起こさないでください。
But
ゆかりちゃん、今回部活とクラスの出し物ですごく忙しそうだったんです。
well, she was very busy, apparently. That's even more of a reason. She practiced that hard, so she wants to go. The band member cut me off without listening to the rest and speaks.
だから無理しているように聞こえるんです。ゆかりちゃんの音が。ゆかりちゃん、もっとのびのびとした幸せな音を奏でる子のはずなのに、疲れなのか悩みなのか最近不調で、今回もソロパート削られたんです。
I didn't know that. Yukari hadn't told me anything about that. Last time I heard her playing in the music room, it didn't sound like that at all. Could it be that she wasn't sounding good during club?
今回、ゆかりちゃんがいなくても曲はちゃんと演奏できるし、不調のまま舞台に立つことって後で嫌な思い出になったりトラウマになったりするんです。だからこのまま寝てた方がゆかりちゃんのためかなってそう思うんです。
I got it.
ゆかりちゃんが起きたら伝言お願いします。あと励ましてあげてください。
Got it.
じゃあ私はこれで失礼します。
She bows and leaves. I return to Yukari's side and sit down. Of course, Yukari is still resting. It's definitely my fault you're not in your best condition. Why didn't you tell me anything? I could have helped out if you said something. No, that's not right. She never complains about things herself. It's my place to pick up on it and force her to rest if need be. She was clearly exhausted in the maid cafe today as well, but she did her best and said, "I'm fine." I should have made her rest then, even if I had to drag her out by the hair and risk pulling it out. Not just today. Even through all this time up until now. Preparing for the school festival, practicing for her club, and she has a lot of homework when she gets home too. In exchange for keeping my grades up, I'd like to join the club. That was what Yukari proposed to her parents. It'd be impossible for her to relax if she filled up her schedule like that. Then there was my attitude. Then there was my attitude on top of that. Of course she'd be worried and depressed, being avoided that much. Now we're in the not alpaca part of the game. It feels like this feels kind of like a lot of other visual novels. There's no way she could have talked to me about her problems. You've really been keeping everything inside. I stroked Yukari's head gently. Her body squirms like that tickles her, but it doesn't seem like her eyes are going to open. What am I doing? I'm her boyfriend. I never noticed. It's too late to notice now after she collapses. I wanted to hit myself. I'd just make Kitty sad if I did that, though. Oh. Pardon me a second, folks. That's my door. Hi! ちょっと待ってください。お願いします。Sorry about that, folks. Package came in and forgot I had ordered. Now, where was I? Come to think of it, something like this happened before. Yes, that was a snowy winter. Meanwhile, in another game, the time I was preparing for my entrance exam, Yukari's school choice was a school above this one, where you'd be able to go straight into college. No, it had been decided for her that it was her choice. She studied day in and day out. Her stress piled up, and she couldn't even play her beloved violin. You okay, Izumi? You're not looking too good.
そうかな。きっと今日は寒いからだよ。大丈夫だよ。
I worried and constantly asked her, but she was persistent, saying she was fine. Then the day of the exam. Yukari collapsed in front of the testing site. Stress and exhaustion were the causes. Instead of being worried for their daughter, her parents blamed her for missing out on her, quote, on her first choice. That's why I told them. They needed to take better care of their daughter. Yeah, the future is important, but if she's collapsing now, then she won't have a future. A little bit of a poke at Japanese education and culture in general. Man, I was so dumb back then. Barging into someone's house and yelling at them. Of course they tossed me out, but because of that, I was able to start dating her. Then we were able to start studying together at my first choice, Seikoi Private High, which was Yukari's second choice. To be clear, it was more like she taught me. But we were both able to get into the school. Yukari pushes herself unless I catch her. She tries twice as hard as others, so she's not able to curb herself. Wasn't it my duty to make sure she didn't push herself too hard and apply the brakes for her? Pathetic. Wait, I thought she was in her main outfit. Oops. Yukari wakes up. I look at the clock. It is 7 p.m. All the simple cleanup is done, and everyone is probably at the bonfire now. So, if you've watched enough anime that are set in high school and stuff, you've probably seen these, but some schools, again, not all, they have a quote-unquote folk dance. They do kind of a thing where all the students get together and dance around a giant bonfire. Oftentimes to Turkey in the Straw, I think, and I'm not entirely sure why. I should look it up. But any case, so that's what our hero is referring to here.
あれ外が暗い。今何時？あ、7時？カズマくん？ねえ、私どうしちゃってたのかな？なんで保健室なんかに？
I calm her down first, then brief her on what happened up until now.
そっか。全部終わっちゃってたんだね。ごめんね。学祭全然一緒に回れなかったね。
No, it's fine. There's something I really wanted to see. Yukari stares at me. It feels like her gaze can see right through me, and I reflexively turn away.
カズマくん、嘘は良くないよ。本当はいろいろ見たかったんでしょ？
So she knows I was lying. Well, I did want to, but I'm more worried about you.
ごめん。あと、クラスのみんなと部活のみんなにも謝らなきゃ。
Yukari laughs mockingly at herself. What will you do? Want to at least show up to the bonfire?
どうしようかな。でも、なんだか最後だけ顔出すのはちょっと気まずいかも。
I see. I don't think anyone in class or in her club would be bothered by that. Well, she herself is bothered by it.
ねえ、カズマくん。
What is it?
私、屋上行きたいな。外の空気吸いたいかも。
Got it. Let's go. We leave the nurse's office and head for the roof.
いい風。
Yukari stretches. That makes me stretch as well. Being this late, it's gotten pretty cold.
そろそろ夏も終わるってことだよ。
For the record, September is considered fall. Just saying.
そうだね。
Dot dot dot. Dot dot dot. We fail to continue the conversation past that and fall into silence.
カズマくん。ね。私、カズマくんに言わなきゃって思ってたんだけど、ずっと黙ってたことがあるんだ。
What if the actual reality is the reverse, that our heroes turn into an alpaca and everyone else is still a person, and everyone's like reacting, but she's the only person who can see that.
今更かもしれないけど、私、今日の演奏会、実はソロパート削られてたんだ。
Then what the girl from the orchestra club said is true.
私、精一杯頑張ったつもりなんだけどね。でも、本当につもりだったみたい。
Tears well up in Yukari's eyes.
なんか、私ダメだ。全然うまくいかないよ。頑張ってるのに何もできない。何も結果が出ない。
Poor alpaca. That's not.
メイド喫茶途中で倒れちゃうし、演奏会だって出れてないし、みんなの迷惑にしかなってないよ。
Poor girl. That's not true. I was gonna say it, but I have nothing to say that would prove her wrong. Yes, Yukari collapsing today did cause a lot of problems for everyone. However, isn't that my fault for letting Yukari's life end up like that? If I'd been more attentive to her needs, this wouldn't have happened.
なんかもう疲れちゃったよ。
Aww. I don't know how you feel, kid.
もうやだ。もうやだよ。
Aww. Yukari's anguished voice rings out.
私頑張ってるのになんでダメなの？まだ足りないの？どれだけ頑張ればいいの？
This is taking a really emotional, kind of depressing turn. She's endured and endured and endured. Now she's unable to stop the flow of emotions over how much she's endured. What can I do for her? No, this isn't the time to be thinking of that. My girlfriend is crying in front of me. What can I do for her? Yukari! Oops. I raised my voice over Yukari's to cut her off, then embraced her tightly. I'm sorry. It's my fault. I should have been watching you better.
カズマくんのせいじゃないよ。私がダメな子だから。
You're not worthless. Here I am talking to the visual novel about an alpaca. She continues to blame herself.
私のやることなんていつも中途半端で。だから何一つ結果が伴わないんだよ。
No, it's my fault for making you this worried. I have to tell her what has been like for me until now. But how? Bluntly? You're gonna alpaca to me? No, if I tell her that now, it will just throw her into confusion and make her even more messed up. It's way too far-fetched of an idea. She'd be the one who's crazy if she actually believed me. More likely, she'd think I'm wrong in the head and distance herself from me. Then, how to tell her? Do I even have the right to stay at Yukari's side? After pushing her into the state that she's in now? Oh man, this has gotten interesting. I can only imagine that by staying with her, there will be a chance I make her even more unhappy. I'm quickly losing confidence in myself. Yet I take one more step forward. I have to tell her. I release the hand embracing her, look Yukari in the eyes, and speak. Oh, here's a choice. Time to save the game. Alright, our options are, I see you as an alpaca, I probably can't go out with you anymore, or do you like alpaca? Alright. Kind of wish I could do a poll to see like people could choose like which one they want me to vote for, or choose rather. I don't. I'm gonna go for one. I might actually backtrack to the save later if this ends up being a really bad choice, because I don't want to end the game on a bad note. But let's see what happens. And then around 12 or so, I'm gonna stop and we'll figure out what other game. I'll play another game actually. All right, here we go. I see you as an alpaca. Yukari, you look like an alpaca to me.
どういう意味？
It's a good question. Yukari doesn't seem to understand what I'm saying. The same reaction as when I talked to Shinazawa about it for the first time. It's natural. At that time I was just blown off, but that isn't going to be the case this time. I need to explain it properly. I mean, right now, standing in front of me, you look like an alpaca.
アルパカってカズマくんが大好きなあの動物の
Yeah, exactly.
どういうこと？わけがわからないよ。
This is gonna be really interesting. It looks like Yukari has never thought she might look like an alpaca before. Well, yes. Who thinks, I look like an alpaca. I'm all fluffy. It could be that she's always been an alpaca, and I've finally been able to recognize that she is one. Some interesting mental gymnastics there. But this response completely dashes that hope.
アルパカと同じぐらい私のことが好きってこと？
Yukari is trying, in her own way, to work out what I mean. That isn't right, though. This isn't me trying to say something in a roundabout way. It's something much, much simpler. No, that's not right. Well, it's true, but that's not what I mean. You see, I grasp for words that can convey the proper meaning, but at the same time, I feel that no words will bridge the gap in understanding between us. There's a long, continuous silence. Neither Yukari nor I know what to say in this situation. The bell rings, signaling that the bonfire is over. That note feels like the signal at the end of our relationship, too. The mood is heavy. I'm about to crack a joke to lighten this unbearably heavy mood, but Yukari speaks first.
ねえ、カズマくん。やっぱり私、カズマくんの言ってることがよく理解できない。カズマくんの言葉を信じようとは思うんだけど、何をどう認めていいのか全然わからなくて。
Of course, nobody would know how to respond to being told they appear as an alpaca. There's no way to perfectly express what your eyes see.
カズマくんは私のことが嫌いになったのかな？
No, that's not it. No, that's not it. That's not it at all.
じゃあ、私のこと好き？
Of course.
カズマくんは私のどんなところを好きになってくれたの？
What? I feel perplexed by this question. What I love about Yukari. Honestly, I want to say everything, but I understand that's not what she wants to hear from me. Good. 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 Yes. Thank you for not saying everything. That you make it seem like you can do anything, but you're actually working really hard in the shadows. Your kindness that puts the feelings of others first. That you look so happy when you play your violin. I list off every good thing about Yukari that I can remember up until this point. Surprisingly, things come out in such detail when you think about each one individually.
じゃあ、今の私はその私とは違うの？
No, other than you're an alpaca. What? It feels like Yukari has told me something very important.
カズマくんがさっきあげてくれた私の好きな部分。今の私にはそれがなくなっちゃったのかな？
Not at all. You're still yourself. That's what I was thinking by myself this entire week. Yukari is still Yukari, even if she looks different.
だったら今の私も好きでいてくれるってことだよね。
Oh. I didn't start loving her because how she looked.
カズマくん。
That's good to hear. Zip. Here I am. No. Yeah, no question. I love you. From now on to forever. Aww. kids are gonna look like. That's right. Yukari is who I love. Regardless of whether she's human or an alpaca. You're my girl. I reach over to Yukari and hug her tight. Yukari, you're warm. I'm not seeking out the warmth of her alpaca fur this time. There's a song playing in the background. I think we're coming up to the end, maybe. I just want to embrace Yukari. The autumn night is a bit chilly. The intermittent breezes make us shiver, but if we stay like this, we'll be fine. Although that's just an excuse to hold her. Aww. Yukari and me. Hand in hand, a warm future most likely awaits us. Gazing into Yukari's beady alpaca eyes, I'm... Hey, Totoro Slayer. Welcome to the stream. You're just in time. This is Paka Plus. From now on forever, I'll live my life with this alpaca that is Yukari. Oh my god, this is the end. A few years later. Wow. Alright, before I hit continue, I want responses from the audience. Who thinks she's still an alpaca? Who thinks she's turned back to human? I think she's still an alpaca. Alright. Is the stream going slow for anyone else other than Totoro Slayer? Alright, so everyone thinks that Yukari is still an alpaca. Alright. I'll wait for Totoro Slayer to refresh real fast because I want him to see this too. Also, thank you, voice actor, for making the father sound like a quote-unquote American, an English speaker. I have a friend back in the day who was Caucasian, who still Caucasian, but as a part-time job, he would marry people. He'd do the ceremony, I think in English, I don't remember which, here in Tokyo, because, you know, he looked like a proper priest, I guess, because priests, you know, those kinds of priests are white people, right? So yeah, all right. So the votes are in. I think everyone said alpaca. So here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I do. Yep, she's still an alpaca. Achievement unlocked. Marry an alpaca. Yukari.
何？
Who-
ちょっとカズマくん？
That's what our hero looks like. And it's a remarkably fine day in June, during the rainy season. A shower of flowers dance in the wind. Friends and family are gathered out in front of the church, giving their blessings.
おめでとう、カズマくん。ゆかりちゃん。とてもよく似合ってるよ。
ゆかりちゃんのドレス素敵ね。私も早く着たいな。
りょうは誰かいい人はいないのかい？
そうね。
紹介でも挨拶でもいつでも歓迎するからね。
考えておきます。
二人ともおめでとう。お幸せに。いや、それにしてもゆかりのドレス姿はいいものね。
Yeah, that's a good question.
ウェディングドレスコレクションもありかもしれないわね。いや、でも予算が。いや、でもウェディングドレスウェディング。
Dang, you couldn't I?
俺らも早くあんな可愛い嫁さん欲しいよな。
つか、まずその前に彼女だろ。
いいんだ。俺魔法使いになるんだ。
What?
なんだよ、白いモフモフと契約でもするのか。
Obligatory reference to Magical Madoka.
はあ、彼女欲しいな。
なんかこういう話すると切なくなるからやめようぜ。
おう。
If you are not in the mood to bless anything, however. On a different topic, we were never able to figure out what happened on Yukari's birthday. But other than Yukari becoming an alpaca, no other mistakes. Happen. Time passes, and embracing things as they are now, it starts to feel like the time we frantically tried to solve that mystery was nothing but a dream. After that, Yukari and I live on as an ordinary couple. At times we celebrate together, like the big party we threw when we accepted to the same college. At times just fluffing Yukari so much she gets annoyed, saying, "Get off." It escalated into a big fight. Rather, it was completely my fault, so I apologized, before we finally made up somehow. They're trifling matters, but these small joys and pains are precious to the two of us. When we decided to marry, both of our families worried, feeling it might be too early. Her father especially kept telling me to head over for a talk. Time and again, I had to listen to her father tell me he wouldn't give her up, while clueless as to what to say to him in return. It was quite the ordeal. But now those are all just fond memories. Today, we were able to have our wedding ceremony. Through thick and thin, Yukari supported me with an unfaltering smile. I am truly a lucky man.
カズマくん、重たくない？無理しなくていいんだよ。
It's fairly small for an alpaca, I guess. The subject of this whole matter calls out to me in concern. I'm fine. This is nothing. As I say that, Yukari has a full, beaming smile on her face. Actually, it sort of feels like you want things to stay this way.
わかっちゃった
Tiny Pocket.
こうしているとなんだかすごく満たされるの
I understand that feeling. You understand what it feels like to be an alpaca? Yeah, full-size alpacas are tall as hell and actually fairly large. They're like small horses. So, before the ceremony, we actually were already living together in an apartment and getting ready to move. Somehow we were able to pull off the wedding, despite running around screaming, "So busy! So busy!" while looking for a new place and making arrangements.
カズマくんと今日という日をこうして迎えることができてみんなにお祝いされて改めて幸せなんだなって思えるの
The smile on Yukari's face can only be described as shining.
今までのことを思い出してたらなんか嬉しくてでも私ばっかりこんなに幸せじゃ申し訳ないかな
They fight with their necks? I didn't know that. Is Yukari worried that I feel left out? She thinks she's the only happy one here. That's not it. What are you saying? I'm just as blessed. I'm just as blessed.
本当に
Being able to carry this incarnation of bliss, who wouldn't be fulfilled?
ちょっと誰が化け物よって私アルパカなんだった
Okay, so she's actually cognizant now after that conversation that she's an alpaca. Yukari cocks her head as she blows a raspberry. There's almost no difference in perception between me and Yukari now. They say incarnates are the gods taking shape on Earth. You are the genuine article, the true incarnation of bliss to me. This white fluffiness is bliss, bestowed upon me by God. She doesn't seem disappointed with my answer.
カズマくんだって私にとっての王子様だよ
Aww, that's sweet. Yukari mumbles while blushing. We support each other in all things, giving each other that intangible gift known as happiness. Thank you, Yukari. We'll be together for the rest of our lives.
カズマくん私からもありがとうずっと一緒にいてね
How long do alpacas live, I wonder? Of course. I love you, Yukari.
私も
On this clear day in the midst of the rainy season, a single white cloud floats through the sky. For some reason, that cloud looks like an alpaca to me. I feel this is a blessing from the heavens, and I gaze happily up at it for a while. Blessings for our lives together. The end. Achievement unlocked. Ending. So that was Paka Plus.
Paco Project.
パカプラス
Phew, okay. Let's see here. Missing pictures actually though. That's the opening sequence.
パカプラス
So there are two endings. There's probably at least one more ending. If people want to see it, I'll do it next week. I don't know if I'm emotionally stable enough for the rest of this. But any case, that was Paka Plus. I hope you all enjoyed that so far. That was both what I was expecting and not what I was expecting at the same time. So, yeah. Oh, strike time. Right. So I'm thinking about playing another game real fast. I can put on Grand Blue Fantasy if people are interested in seeing some more of that. Or I can play something off of the Sega collection, or I can play Shovel Knight. Are there any preferences? I'll probably play for like another maybe 40 minutes or so. Or if people are just like, go away, Richard, man, we're tired of your face, I'll just shut down the stream for the day and then pick up next week. Are there any thoughts on that? Get out of this though. Yes. But yeah, so if there's any other requests, let me know, folks. A-Tank, you just missed the end of the game, actually. I got the one ending. I'm sure there's at least one more ending, probably, in this game. Yeah, I've been meaning to try that out, but I just haven't had a chance to really get into it, so... I'll have the recording of the stream on YouTube later, so you can skip through if you want. So yeah, if people have requests, I'll either play, like I said, an old Sega game real fast for a little bit, or I'll play some Grand Blue Fantasy. And like I said, if people are interested in learning about Grand Blue Fantasy, I will do kind of a beginner's course in the near future, actually, so people can check that out. Otherwise, I'll start up a brand new game of Shovel Knight, because I haven't played that in a while. And can play that. So, any requests or any thoughts? Curse this slight delay. I'm gonna check some stuff real fast while I'm waiting for people's responses. That's the Metroidvania game that just came out. I think I've got it on my my wish list. I haven't picked it up yet though. OBS has been pretty good to me, thankfully. So thank you for helping set that up. Do you mean Strike Time or Sakura Taisen? Because I can't play Sakura Taisen on this machine. I also, like I said, in July, I will probably actually be streaming a little bit of Dragon Quest XI and translating as we go along off my PS4. So I'm not sure if I'll have video on that while I do that, but playing Sakura Taisen would be fun if I had my Windows copy here. Although I have no idea how slow that would be. Let me go ahead and fire up. Grand Blue Fantasy. There we go. Put this in English for folks. Let's see here. Language. English. Shape changes. Where's my dashboard? All right. There we go. Everything's in English now. Let's see. Turn on drops. Real fast. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I may as well get some stuff. All right. Oh, sound would help too. So if people have any questions about the game, feel free to ask. I'm gonna, let's see here, see how well I can do this by myself. Hello, Bahamut. With my dark team, since I'm fighting a light boss. Let's see how well we do here. So this is Chevalier / Lumiere. Luminera. Not ask for help. She's an interesting fight in that the very first attack, when she's above 50% of her health, she puts up an immense shield that reduces almost all your damage to 0. It's like 90% damage reduction. So the first thing I usually do is turn on 503. And her ability to make her dual element. And then I just hit her once. There's her shield. You can see up here it's 90%. It's a little hard to read maybe, but then I dispel her shield. Have a nice day. And activate other abilities if necessary. Then attack again to remove her shield, so that the spell takes effect. Okay. Night Shags, thanks for coming, hanging out. Then, now that she's shield free, I'm going to actually let loose everyone's attacks. And then here we go. Now the trick is going to be getting to the 50% without getting my team wiped out. This has become my strongest team, almost accidentally. And, alright. More treasure. Oh, rock. So the one thing about this team is that the way the weapons they use are set up, the lower their health is, the more damage they do. And so, as goes against my normal RPG playing nature, I want everyone topped off. I have to make sure I don't kill everyone too much, or else they will do less damage. And this is the point where they're all going to do a lot of damage. Unfortunately. Because when she hits 50%, she does an ability called Blades of Light that hits a lot of members of the team for a lot of damage. This should push her back first as well. Yep, there we go. And let's see who gets hurt. That's mostly team right there.
お姉様に捧げるライブだ。目標隠すべては大義のために。
So, do that. And now I'm going to call for help. Since now I have what's called MVP for doing at least 51% of the damage. Don't. I love this game, but don't. Seriously, don't. It's better for your sanity and your wallet. One of the reasons I'm asking people for my proud is because I want them to put more treasure hunts. The icon. Thank you, Anonymous, for the $10 donation. It was good. The puzzles and stuff were really freaking hard, so no. Barely got in under the wire to get the prize for that game, so and let's probably end this fight. Treasure hunt is the little yellow icon with the number 7 listed at the top. We went to even 9 when they were possible. Thank you. Let's see what I get. Probably nothing. Nothing worth anything, really. Yeah, you talking about the art exhibit I went to? Yeah, it was good. There was a lot of beautiful art and stuff. There was a thing you could do where you had to walk around the surrounding area looking for clues to solve a mystery. And when you solve the mystery, you actually get a prize. Those questions were really, really hard. So, let's see what's out there right now. Not a lot. So. What else can I summon? I'm not gonna summon you. No. Sure, go for it. Let's see here. Colossus real fast. Oh, you mean the thing? There was actually, like, there were riddles and stuff. They were kind of related to Grand Blue Fantasy, but yeah, no, they involved Grand Blue Fantasy in some respects, but they were not like, it wasn't like a quiz or anything like that. But they would like have a grid of letters, and you had to know what the colors represented that the fonts were in, to be able to figure out what answer you wanted to get. Do a Celeste Omega then. Hello, you. My light team. So yeah, like they were all indirectly related to Grand Blue Fantasy, not Puzzle Dragons. But it wasn't just like a flat-out trivia thing. Some of the questions actually I felt like I figured out a little bit later after like taking a step back and rereading some stuff. I got some help from some friends who had gone to it earlier, so thanks to them. So I liked it a lot, and of course I just really enjoyed the art. Nothing really new there. I like the skin that I have on Fairy right now because it's her chain attack is faster than normal fairies, so so this fight, our Miss Celeste here hates when you buff your own team. So when you do that, she poisons your whole team and also zombies them. I mentioned this last time. But you can use that to force her to not attack for a round and do that too instead. Like that, the Bizarre Fog. You get 2 rounds of that effectively. Which gives me some time to get her to 50% again, which is the kind of the trigger point for her to do some annoying stuff. So every boss has their own kind of way of strategies for fighting them. Not everyone is. You can't just brute force most of these bosses at this level in the game. And they're not like super complicated, but there's enough stuff to them that you do want to like actually make plans on how you want to take them on and such. So, in that way, it's one of the reasons I like this is because it reminds me of World of Warcraft style raiding and such, where, you know, with the exceptions of where, you know, if you overpower a boss, you can just brute force it. And you have to learn the fight. You have to get, you know, don't stand in fire and stuff like that. It's just there's no positioning in this game, but there's still a lot of like knowing when to use abilities and such. Like I used a damage cut to keep her from kicking everyone's ass right just then. With the shield, a damage absorb, which is nice to help. There's that. And she's charmed now, yay! Which means sometimes she won't attack. But sometimes she will. Come on, main character, please get to 100% chain attack so I can actually do a full chain attack. Seriously? Alright, well then. Guess I am not doing that then. And then call for help, but I'm going to be at past 50% to make this a little bit faster. So again, for people who are interested in playing, once again, I'm going to tell you, don't play this game. I love this game, but it's a fairly large time sink, honestly, if you want to get seriously into the game. I have time on trains, so it's not so bad for me. And looks like my friend got their tier 4 job. Congratulations! I'm very jealous, actually. I'm still a far away from that, so... And there's Preston's party. Yay! For fights like this, if you can get 12,000 points, you'll get what's considered minimum full credit, which is nice. That means you get chests and stuff. But so right now, as we speak, as I'm playing through this fight, there are actually 2 events going on in-game. One is a rerun of a previous event called Hero's Return, I think, in English. And the other one is known as the Zero Afraid fight. Let's see what we get. Probably nothing useful. Nope. Nothing I really care about. Alright. Let's see. Oh, so Hero's Return and the Xenoid Clash. And this is an upcoming event. She is known as a Harden. They're about yay tall. And she's an adult, but she likes eating kids' meals at restaurants. So this is about her getting over that, apparently. But as you can see, the game is available in English, but it's not available in America. That's the thing. Most people I know who play in America play via the web interfaces, either on their phone or in if you need a good win summit, it's not a bad one to do. So for these games, it's all about these events, collecting items to trade in for weapons and summons and such. As you can see here, I need 32 more of these yellow spiky bits. So hopefully I will get that before the end of this event. It'd be nice. And also a lot more of this dude right here, Q of 70. Let's see if there's any available items so you guys. Oh hey, one of my friends list friends is asking for help. There you go. And not a lot of summons that can help. All right, come here, Bonito. Yes, a giant Bonito is a summon in this game. I'd have to look, honestly. Maybe I'll give you some advice. So this is kind of the angry version of the E3 boss. So yeah, but it sounds like people are interested. And I think I'll take a look at after this. There goes the Super Sniper. 2 million damage. Oh, thank goodness for that. well, the thing about the game is that one thing that a lot of people fall into trap of is trying to improve all their teams at the same time. Which is what happened to me, honestly. I was like, oh, I need to get everyone ready so I can do all the fights no matter what. You really need to just, it's better to focus on one element and stick with that as long as you can. Because with the exception of one element usually the one that they're weak against, it's they'll be good against the other 5 or 6 elements then. Including its own, their own element. Because there's no penalty for those. It's, I guess, for me, I just like variety, so I kept switching. But my friends here and other places who are more serious about the game, is that they tend to stick they stuck with one element for a long time, and once they felt they were sufficiently strong enough on their team, that element, started focusing on another one, and kind of moved on from there. And that's kind of more standard, at least in Japan. So it depends, during good luck, a draw from the gacha, you're working together. Oh, there goes my team. Right, 25% trigger, and I wasn't paying attention. I was sorry. I actually chose quite possibly the worst element to try to build up the team for first, Light, because my first strong summon was Zeus, who boosts light abilities. And I didn't really know much at that point in time, because the game was relatively new. They've certainly made a lot of improvements to the game. When I started playing the game 3 years ago, it was yay, yellow pudding thing. Things were definitely a lot harder back then. Pop into my friend's thing and say, hey, what's up? Because they know they want to keep the population strong. We won the big just find all of my bonus abilities up. Well, you also play other games and do other things. If I do the I actually have to see it. I like the song. Fun fact, the voice actress for Mari in Grand Blue Fantasy, the girl with the goggles on her head, the treasure hunter type, is Miki from Idolmaster. But if I do the beginner's thing, I will probably make a brand new account and start from the very beginning so people can just kind of see the whole process building up, including getting new characters and everything else. I considered using one of my alt accounts, and yes, I have alt accounts in this game. I usually use them just to scratch the need to spin gacha in this game. Speaking of which, see, do I have tickets? Just so people can see what it looks like. Yes, I do. Alright, here we go. That seems to be tradition with a lot of these kinds of these streams. I'm gonna do a spin and see what I get. Here we go. Let's see what I get. What random rare? Oh, whoa! She got a super rare. And is it actually a super rare or a super? Nope, it's a super rare. Darn. There's some kind of glitches occasionally. Super rare crystals show up as super rare. So if you hit reload, they'll actually show the proper crystal. But something useful. Oh, it's a +1. Wooliest Iceworm. Yeah, you're not useful to me. Alright, well there's my roll for the day. Let's see here. When I do this, if people have requests, or just in general, if you're awake and I'm awake, and you want help with bosses and stuff, let me know. I'm willing to jump in and do some beatdown. I'm not nearly as strong as some of my friends in certain elements, but I am strong in others. So, and if nothing else, I don't mind helping. So, let's see here. Yeah, I think I should just gonna go ahead and do my own. Do another Lumira. Oh, actually, yeah, might as well. It makes sense. New snake. Ooh, gonna have to start doing some serious grinding for anima, so I can keep summoning this thing. The current event boss is a fire boss, so people have been summoning a lot of Leviathan to try to get water-based weapons and such. But I have been too busy to really farm up to fight the lower versions of this boss to get the items to summon more of them. So it's all kind of a circular thing. Some people may recognize this beyond my game from the anime that's on these days. And it's up to episode 9 was this past Saturday. I love that she throws up a tornado of chickens at the boss. And so I expect that more people might be interested in this game because of the anime, which is not bad. I have some mild gripes with it, primarily based around hands. So I shared this one to the crew, my guild, so they're the only ones who actually can join it right now. But yeah, so we'll see. I'll do some polling and stuff to people think. Oh, excuse me. Oh. And treasure hunt on this thing. I'm trying to figure out how to get games off of my phone actually on the stream as well. Like there's some other mobile games that are kind of fun to play and show off. So we'll see about that if people are interested. But right now it looks like it's going to be some more visual novels. Some retro games and that. Although if people have games they want to try out, if they're not too expensive, I can, pick them up. And I'm also not proud if you want this video game that you want me to try out and see how well or how bad it can be with them. That is also fun. The only games I can't really play are first-person shooters, really, so... Alright, let's see what we get. We're just hoping for some knives. I want this knife, but I want the thing to be gold, not silver. Alright, let me summon 2 more. We call this the snake train. That's the crew for help again. That's actually me with this me sharing with the crew, so they have chances to get good drops. Yeah, that's not uncommon. Like, there's the chance of you getting the super rare weapons and stuff does get better as your chances increase as you do better in the fight. Your place in the raid. The red chests you can see this drop are guaranteed for the host. The person's paying for everything. The person who is the MVP gets 1, so if you're hosting it for everything, you get 2. The second place and third place players also have a chance to get the red chest. And they're supposed to usually be better items. It's supposed to be because sometimes you get garbage. It's still a random thing. RNG is still a thing. RNG stands for random number generator, for those who are wondering. There's also the chance, of course, that anyone in the raid, there's always a small chance of getting a rare drop. When it happens, you'll hear a little bit of music. There'll be a rainbow, I believe. I never pay attention to it. And the chest will literally pop. All the chests pop up out of the ground, but the chest will actually literally pop up and then flip over, and then land. So of course, we call those flip chests, and we all hope for them. But even then, sometimes you get the flip chest and it's not what you want necessarily, so... Our gentleman here with the eye patches, Yugen, he's one of my favorite characters. He joins the team not too far into the story. He's acquainted with someone you get early on, and you lock him. The story of the game in the anime is actually pretty good. Not like groundbreaking or anything like that per se, but fun. And I certainly enjoy it. If you've played any Final Fantasies of the ones 12 and before, up to 12, you can see a lot of things that kind of make you feel like the older Final Fantasy games, and that's not an active games. A fair number of the members of the staff for this game, or at least the original members of the game, were apparently from Square Enix on those teams, and they left for various reasons. Oh! Well then, there you go. There was a flip chest. Kind of afraid to see what I got. Alright, here we go. But like the music is by Uematsu Nobuo, who of course is well renowned for doing the music for Final Fantasy. There's a song that you hear when you fight the Proto Bahamut raid boss. That is a very and I got what we call a selfie. This is the summon for this boss. I have more than enough of that summon, so I don't need it anymore. Yeah, because Psy Games works on both. So yeah, Uematsu did. I believe he composed the music for that one. He's actually really, really versatile. So who do I use? Who do I use? I will use you. The last Leviathan fight's gonna go up. Let's back up. But like, I will put a link in chat in a minute. Actually, once this fight starts, do that real quick. There it is. There's the link. That is, according to a friend, the most Uematsu song in the universe. And it's at the halfway point, the lyrics kick in, and you can see why my friend said it is the most Uematsu song in the universe. I actually like the song a lot. They did a parody version of it for April Fool's this year, which is also fun. I hope they actually put it on CD someday because I want to actually put it on my iPod, on my iPhone rather, and listen to it on the train. Let's see. Okay, the usual folks. Hello, everyone. Yeah, so we'll see. In any case, that's we're at 1 o'clock now. I'm getting kind of hungry. I should go and swim after this fight's done. I want to get some lunch. But thank you all for joining me today. Hope you had a good time. I will do the other choices in Pocky Plus there next week to start off the stream, and then play a couple other games. We will see. I like how Yugen's like it pieces out with the drop the ladder and stuff. Oh, and I got the scepter. Use that for skilling up things. So thank you all very much for well, it is 1 o'clock in the afternoon here, dude. So thank you all for joining me. Hope you have a great day, good evening, and or good night, depending. And I will talk to you all soon. Hey, trophies 50 stones, 50 crystals. So, in any case, I will talk to folks later. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye bye.